Hi, I'm Scott Nichols.
And I'm Teresa Nichols. We decided to move to Tulsa, I believe it was in October of 2010. Scott came home from work one day and just said he was ready to go. We wound up at Destiny because we had a plumber come to our house that left me a card, one of the cappuccino cards from Destiny.
When we came to Destiny, we'd come as a family, and it'd be Teresa and I, and our son Ethan, and he's age 20, and his friend Casey was age 21, and then I think Leanne came a few times with us,
Yes.
our daughter, and she's 28. When I walked into Destiny, I felt comfortable and liked the music that I was hearing, and it seemed like everybody was genuine.
Ethan and Casey and all of us were very impressed with our first service here and really connected, and seemed to touch us all each individually, even in the age brackets that we are. So.
Yeah. I was at work at Collinsville one day. I received a phone call. They had said our son Ethan didn't show up for work, and they said that's not like him. You know, he's always way early. He likes to get there early, probably 20 minutes early at least. So I began to text him.
Police are calling it a double murder, and tonight they want to know who shot two young people at an East Tulsa park. Police say a couple walking a trail at the park discovered the two bodies around 10:45 this morning. Fox 23's Ian Silver is reporting there live. And Ian, what do we know about the victims?
At this point, we know that it was a white male and a white female, late teens or early 20s. We know both of them were shot to death. Now, police do know their identities, but they're still trying to get in touch with all their family members before they release their names.
So I received a phone call from the detective. He told me he needed me to come home. He wanted to talk about Ethan. So I checked out of work and went home, and then was given the news. The first thing after they told me was that I have to go tell Teresa what had happened, that it needs to be me.
A man came to the door and said, there's two people that are here that need to talk to you. And I thought, well, that was kind of strange. But he said, could you just get your belongings and follow me? And I walked into the room, and Scott was standing there, and I saw the chaplain. I didn't know he was a chaplain, but I could tell he had the police buckle on his belt. And Scott just told me, he said that Ethan and Carissa were shot and killed at Hicks Park last night. We just wrapped each other up and crumbled to the floor and cried. You know, you just don't believe like something could happen that way to two remarkably innocent, God-fearing kids. It was really hard. We had to kind of pick ourselves back up and drive ourselves back to the house and do what we had to do, you know, to get through things. The victory came later on that day. I think Mike and Renee were there with us, and we were praying that these people would be caught. We didn't want them out there. We didn't want them to get away with it. And we were praying that they would be caught, and we got the first call from our detective telling us that they had picked up one of the people that had been actually caught them driving Ethan's car, and they caught them and had arrested him.
New information tonight in a double murder at an East Tulsa park. Police are now questioning two people. They were taken into custody after a brief police chase and crash this evening.
Shara, I just got off the phone with the Tulsa Police Homicide Sergeant, and he tells me the car that actually crashed into that wall belonged to one of the victims in this morning's murder.
We slowly started getting all the details about what had happened, and it was a very brutal killing. It was just one of those ones where, you know, they were jogging in the park and they were surrounded, pushed down to their knees, and they surrendered all their stuff they had, which was keys and no money because neither of them carried cash. And then they put a gun to their head and shot Ethan, and then they shot Carissa. You're just not prepared to bury your 20 or 21-year-old son.